Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it's super late. Well, not really super late. Review of Fallout 4. Yes, folks, I've beaten Fallout 4, the story campaign it is. And it's going to be an interesting review. Very interesting. Because there's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad. And a lot of things I don't understand. But anyways, yes, folks, before I start, I'll just review will not being technically all in order, meaning I won't really discuss the story that much or other gameplay elements in it, but that's another long story, because I might do it, I might not. But anywho, folks, let's end this show on a good note, because I beat this game around Saturday at 12 a.m. Yeah, no life. Anyways, folks. Yes. So Fallout 4 is the most biggest and most awesome game of 2015, which is true. And by that is true with pretty much what you're getting into. Let me start off with the good parts of Fallout 4. All right, with Fallout 4, the gameplay mechanic combat is very good. It's more fluent. It's more fleshed out. More say than New Vegas and Fallout 3, which I played as well. And I like Vegas all that much, but that's a different story too. Anyways, the environment of the Commonwealth is beautiful, very beautiful, more beautiful than the Wasteland or the Mojave Wasteland of previous games. But when you see the colors, you see everything like just pretty much pop. It's very beautiful. The environment itself is just another character within the game, and it's awesome. I really love the environment in this game. And when I mean the environment, it becomes your enemy as well, because you get radioactive storms. Yeah, radioactive storms, that does give you radiation. And for some reason, not a lot of people. Odd. Anyways, fighting new enemies in this new environment is amazing, because the combat suits this environment very well. You gotta take cover, look around all your surroundings, and when you get to pretty much the Sims bad guys, like the Institution, those fights become more memorable and more interesting as well. It becomes very a memorable time in gaming, for me that is. And fighting more tougher enemies makes you more feel good about yourself. You're facing like legendary bad guys with like they have a star note if they're legendary. If they're pretty much like really much hardcore enemies, they have a skull on them. That was really fine detail that wasn't really present in the past games, but this one I do like a lot. And really too much crying over they throw out the repair system, like you repair your guns, your armor. Well, you do repair your battle suit, well your power suit, sorry. But that's another different story I have to get into later on, because that is one of the complaints I have. But that's again a learned story. Anyways, the power suits in the game. Ooh, it makes you feel like you're Iron Man. Just pretty much straight up Iron Man. I love the strength behind it. I love the power behind the power suit within a Fallout. And it's more fleshed out, and it's more fleshed out than it is on Fallout 3 for a good reason too, because this power suit can pretty much save your life. It prevents radiation to affect you anyways, and it can carry more items. It can carry big as hell weapons. You name it. It's just fucking awesome. And lastly, on the good parts, it is the companion system. I love it. I love all the companions. I really do. Like Valentine, Piper, Curie, I hope I said her name right, Dogmeat, Strong, weird I know, and there's more characters I can't really explain because that'd be a spoiler, but highly not really. And what you do within the world, it will affect on them, but they won't really like go with you. Like for example, if you kill NPCs or non-playable characters or non-lethal characters, they will actually leave your side and go back to where they want to go to, like your facility, like Sanctuary Hills. So I was like, whoa, because I was really everything has fine detail, really fine detail. And now we go into the bad parts. No fact it's a Bethesda game, it is buggy as fuck. It is true, folks. It is buggy. I mean, you find some funny bugs, and I haven't ran into game-breaking bugs as of yet. I had before. It was very rare bugs where I couldn't move whatsoever. My character couldn't move. I don't know why, but it was confusing. I don't understand it. I just don't. I just don't. Anyways, starting from the bugs itself, the bugs are pretty much are lesser the issues to the overall problems of Fallout 4. The overall problems of Fallout 4, and don't even say graphics, folks, because when people say, "Oh, it's about the graphics," shut the fuck up. It's not about graphics. It's about the physics within the game and also the mechanics of the game. What I'm trying to say is that Fallout 4, shockingly enough, it is not an RPG game. It's an action adventure, which is awesome with RPG elements, but it's not an RPG game. It's not, because in the past Fallout games, it was like it was a similar RPG element to it. Like for Vegas, for a good example, had a really strong RPG element than Fallout 3, which is true in my book, because you have to craft your systems, make sure which factions you go into, and so on, so on, and so forth, which is cool. It really is cool. Make sure you're like, what do we do? But the bat system is pretty much played like, you know, it's an RPG when you use your bats more than you don't use without them, like when you use in combat. In Fallout 4, you barely use your own bats. I barely use my bats at times. I only use my bats when I have a good shot or really tricky shots that I can't really aim it for some stupid reason. And it becomes like a more of it's like pretty much a back door, like, oh, I have it. I barely use it. And this is where the problem starts to set in. The RPG elements are pretty much diminished even more and more as the game goes on. Because when you level up yourself, you don't really need to level up, put more level points into such and such category. If you just put points into modding your weapons, modding your guns, and modding your armor, like I said, guns and weapons, and anyway like that, or put more investment in your charisma and to build more settlements. Build up your settlements, which is pretty much it's a big gameplay moment here. It's like, yeah, I can just pretty much build up my own stuff and everything's behind it, and also have charisma to buy stuff for lesser caps. So it's like, wait a minute. So is this really an RPG element, or just pretty much I fill in the dots what I want to do and go with it? Because really, folks, this is pretty much my build. Put a boatload of energy, like put a boatload of points in lockstep, of course, and somewhat of hacking. Because hacking, it's still the same thing as before. It's boring, in my book. It's boring, but you just pretty much put more emphasis on modding out your guns, your armor, and your settlements as well. You're pretty much going to be a powerhouse automatically. And put some points into shotguns or rifles and so on and so forth. You can use another oomph into it. But overall scale of it, once you have the whole modding down and also the lockpick smack down, you're pretty much unbeatable, which is cool and all. But here comes the bigger problem. It is not a good RPG. You have to pretty much put like 4 or 5 or 7 perks throughout the whole game. Again, I put much emphasis on either the top or the special perks because that'd be a waste of points. Because you level up with only 1 point, which is pretty much a pain in the ass. Because back in Fallout 3, it gave you like a certain amount of points to put into each category. Same thing with Vegas. No, I think it was like either 2 level ups, you get some perks to put into your skills. And that was kind of bullshit, but you still know it's an RPG element. You gotta be very careful what you pretty much put into. Here in Fallout 4, just pretty much the basics of the whole game mechanics of Fallout 4, like again, modding out weapons, armor, and even science and lockpicking and settlement building, you're pretty much done. Really, you are done. You're done with everything. You can add an Aqua Boy in the mix, but Aqua Boy pretty much shows that this game is it's not RPG. And put more into toughness as well, it's still proving the point that it's not an RPG at all. It's just a shooter. It is a straight up action adventure shooter game with RPG elements. And I say shooter game because the third person view still sucks. To me, it sucks. It doesn't feel right. First person view, it feels like a godsend because that's how you want to play the game mostly. It's pretty much in first person view. You might want to put in third person view to look at your character, but overall, you better want to look at your character because who cares? Now, speaking of the character, the 2 main characters, the wife and or husband that you choose in the beginning of the game. I read this before in an article before, a blog, where it says the characters themselves are already established in the world. So pretty much making our own story, with making our own backstory within the Fallout universe, like in 4, for example, is pointless. It is 110% pointless. Like, okay, so these people are already established. The wife is a freaking scientist herself. The husband is pretty much a military veteran and pretty much a badass. And so it's like saying these people are already established in their own community. So what's the point of pretty much making our own characters when you already made it for us, right? And the karma system is not there. Really, the karma system, which I liked a lot. To me, I liked. But when I went to New Vegas, it put the karma system into more lighting where it says like reputations or pretty much, I forget what it's called reputation around New Vegas. But what you do in New Vegas will have a big effect on the Mojave Desert wasteland. And that was really cool. I love that so much because the factions you choose is going to be pretty much what they pretty much dictate what you're going to become in the later end of the game. And that was really cool. That really was cool. So choosing between House, the NCR, or yourself, and so on and so forth, that's really compelling. That was very deep LRPG gameplay elements. Here, you can choose factions in Fallout 4, but this is where your character you make becomes pointless because you can just use high as hell charisma. And the charisma, they don't really explain what charisma does most of the time. Like, so does it help me persuade people? Does it help me get what? It doesn't help me do anything besides what? Change colors on my dialogue tree. Woo! In Fallout 3 in New Vegas, it was detailed. What was like persuasion? What was smart? What was intelligent? So on and so forth. Here it's pretty much like this is a blindfold. Well, my hand across my eyes, anyways. It's like a blindfold which you're going to choose. And when you choose it, it's not what your character actually says because it's not full. It's not on there because they give you like small abbreviations. It's trying to be like Mass Effect, but it's not Mass Effect because the Mass Effect will is pretty much more detailed than this will itself. Because you do know Bethesda copied some gameplay moments from Obsidian. And so was before too, like Alpha Protocol. But that was a bad idea, a really bad idea because Alpha Protocol's dialogue tree is, in a sense of a way, terrible. But that's another long story too. I don't feel like getting in with. But with Obsidian, they can really make detailed and pretty much compelling stories, which is true. That's 110% true. They make very, very compelling stories. Pick up on Pillar, Obsidian, Pillar, the new games, the new RPG game they had out for PC, and it's very, very good. It's very, very, very good. Pretty much pick that up. It's a awesome RPG, but again, that's later down the road, and I might review it, maybe. But anyways, I lost train of thought again. Oh, yes. And so, getting back to the story itself, not yet. I'll say that for last. But the dialogue tree is just it's just boring and a mess. When you pick sarcasm, you can't tell if the sarcasm is good or bad. It doesn't really explain what the hell it is. And going on from the factions, I kid you not, one faction makes more sense than all of them put together. And I'm going to spoil it, so cover up your ears. The Railroad group, which is pretty much like a calling card of the Underground Railroad, where in this sense they help synth who are like human escape the institution and have their own life for themselves. It's like, yeah, I would actually join that group. While the other groups are pretty much fucking stupid. There's no point to join it because you know they're fucking crazy. For example, the Brotherhood are just filled with zealous, crazy, racist motherfuckers. It's like, oh, if you're not human, then you're an abomination. Like they say this to mutants, they say this to simps, good mutants as well. So it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? So you're saying people who actually help out people who are mutants or simps, they're an abomination too? And they'll tell you in your face, like say like, yeah, they are. Then that's stupid. That's not making me persuaded to go on your side. That's actually pushing me away to the other side. And so when you play more with the Brotherhood Steel missions and the Railroad missions and the Institution ones, which is the most, they were very badass as villains, but when you join their faction, it's kind of fucking stupid because it's like they have so much power. It's like, why the hell should I join you? You have so much power. I'll beat the game easily. But there is a good twist in the story that helps the institution become more interesting for about 5 minutes after you get done with that twist. and the game gets back to the same mundane fetch quests, which are repetitive. To me, when I was playing them, it wasn't repetitive because I was going through all types of moments. But then something clicked in my mind. So wait a minute, I'm doing the same thing over and over again in the same damn area in the same damn place. Seriously, you're doing the same fetch questions in the same areas. Again, it's not big, and that's okay. It's not big, but good lord, choose different farmers. Choose something different. No, it does not. When you actually save that one farm, be prepared to see that farm again being attacked by raiders again and again and again and again. You can see what I'm doing, right? Or picking up some stupid ass hell items for our Brotherhood. Do this again and again and again and again, or clear an area, which is fun, but you do this again and again and again. This reminds me of Arkham Knight, where you don't do nothing, you're just repeating the same bullshit over and over again. Good lord. Where New Vegas, again, I hate to say this, but New Vegas had better side quest missions. They were more interesting, they were more compelling, they were more everything else. They had more depth into it, you know? And getting into the story itself, there's the missions for personal quest missions, like say your companions, are bone dry at times, or most times, really, because you can pretty much that they have to like you to actually let you into their own story or life or whatever the case may be. And good lord, that's kind of annoying too. It's like they gotta be with me all 24. They gotta be with me 24/7 in the game wise a day. God damn, and they say the same shit over and over. It's kind of annoying too. I mean, it can be funny, but most of the time I just want to get my dog because my dog doesn't talk that much. He shuts the fuck up, or he barks at something that's actually interesting. Your companions just talk so damn much, you just want them to shut the fuck up. And you do. They start becoming interesting, you just want them to shut up. And Dog Meat pretty much is one of the best ones because the dog doesn't talk like human talk. He just barks and that's it. And that's fine, that's normal. But he's like pretty much the one you actually want to go toward because he doesn't talk at all. He doesn't care what you do, like bad, good, whatever. If you're doing yourself and you're helping him or keeping him safe, Dog Meat is cool. He doesn't give a fuck. And this is where the karma system or reaction system, like from New Vegas and or Fallout 3, was a big key in the game of the RPG elements. If you're just doing bad things within Fallout 4, it won't really fucking matter. We're still going to pretty much respect you or like you or dislike you. It doesn't really matter what you do. It really doesn't. And that's one of the pinnacle parts behind it all. The story, come on to the story itself. The story itself, it starts off really good. It starts off really interesting. And then when you leave the vault for the first time, and how can I put this in a more delicate term? When you leave the vault and start doing your own missions, this is before you get to Diamond City. You pretty much already explored the wasteland. Not in a bad way, but in a good way. But after you get to Diamond City, it's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. But when you leave that city, you know you're not going to find anything like it, which is true. It's because the story is kind of like scripted. You can't kill certain characters or certain companions because they're unkillable. And when they're unkillable, they make a lot of stupid mistakes. And they're stupid. Really, they are stupid. Besides my dog, who wants to hold down enemies, and that's pretty much more helpful than everyone else, I have to say for that. But at the same notion, you're pretty much putting more limitations on the game when you know your companions can't die at all, or certain people can't die at all either. Like with Megaton, I get why people you can't really kill the kids, and that was cool about me. I don't want to kill no kids in the game. But the same notion, when you have characters who cannot be killed, you're pretty much saying like, yeah, you have some limitations. You have some limitations in this world. And I know I'm acting too much here, and it sounds like it, but I'm just saying what I think about the game, what the issues rely in. I still like the game. As a matter of fact, I love the game. It's fun. It's fun as hell. But when you start noticing the problems, like the story, when you beat the story, you get no aftermath. Like what happened after that? What happened? Like what does the world think of you, the character? Not a goddamn thing. Nothing. If you join this faction or not, it all ends the same similar fucking way. Nothing ever affects nothing. I know that's a big mouthful, and I know I fucked that one word up, but I don't care. Trust me when I say this. when you beat this campaign, nothing in this world changes. You don't have no input or no change on this world. No one has real effect. And the radio system, it's not really apparent to have one anymore because, like with Three Dog was amazing. I loved Three Dog in Fallout 3. And I wish he was in New Vegas, but that's another long story. Again, I'm sorry I keep going that over and over again. But when Three Dog was on the radio, he was charismatic. He had that energy. He was interesting. He was likable. You saw the person before you even had to turn the radio on. You know who this guy was. And so it was like, okay, the new radio station in Fallout 4, or the crazy wacky characters within New Vegas. Like, you notice these new wacky characters in Fallout 4, but they're only far in between. And when you do meet them, they're very, very bland characters. Sorry to say. And then when you know that you can pretty much destroy the game by just modding out your guns, your armor, your settlement, and your science shit, whatever, you can't really do much of anything in this whole story. You know, you do this and that, this and that, this and that, by A through Z. You can't go out the order and just go to A through Y or Y to C. You're pretty much in a straight, narrow line of a story. The story doesn't branch off to different things. It's just the same fucking story. It doesn't do nothing creative. But doesn't mean it doesn't have replayability. It has a lot of replayability. But the same notion, it doesn't give you much leg room to play with. He said it has no level cap, and when there's no level cap, that is bullshit. There is a level cap. The level cap is at 100, and it's a pain in the ass to get to 101. I should know. I have the game on PC and PS4 for obvious reasons. One, to pretty much play around on the bed, or one playing on the chair, which I don't like playing this damn chair. It's uncomfortable. Anyways, knowing that pretty much you wasted your time on a story that had interesting and good potentials, pretty much end on a whimper with no real good aftermath of it. Like, why the fuck should I care about this now? There was no real aftermath. And the power suits, I'm getting to them right now. The power suits are awesome, but good lord, upgrading them is a pain in the ass. It really is, because you gotta make sure you have the right items. And adhesive is the most aggravating item in the damn game, because you will run out of adhesive faster than any item in the game. You need adhesive to connect the mods onto this gun or this armor, whatever the case may be, or your power suit, and you're done. But it doesn't work like that. You gotta go throughout the whole damn. It's really annoying. Trust me when I say it. It's annoying as fuck to look for adhesive because they run out so fast. Like, really? Why can't you take less? And there is no perk in the world to make the items less demandable. No. I wish there was, but there isn't. And this is where the perk system becomes like a bullshit system. You know, you're putting so much emphasis on crafting more items, it becomes apparent that you're crafting more items becomes like a task or pretty much a more daunting mission to do. You know, there's no real easy perk to make it. There's no perk to make it easy for you. There isn't. And it's on this one note, the bad parts that since the dialogue tree is boring and bland, and your character's already been established in this world, and the ending story was kind of bullshit, and the karma / reaction or reputation system is not there, or pretty much real RPG elements in this game are not there at all. Okay, it's there, but not. It's like 2% in it. The rest of it is pretty much shooting, shoot, build. That's all it is. And so this comes to the hard part, because I had a blast. I liked the game. I had fun playing the game a hell of a lot. But there were so many problems with it as well. But in the same notions, those problems are overlooked when you pretty much like you blow through the game, or you beat the monsters, or you find this new item, or you craft this item, or you build this item, or you pretty much find a power suit or more power or whatever the case may be. The game is fun. It's awesome. And when you go off the path from this main story, it's more better when you don't go to the main story. It is. And the factions themselves are just stupid. To me, they're stupid. It's like, this is stupid. Because these factions are fucking dumb as hell. And there's one faction that's smart as hell. It's like the underdog story all over again. And so it wasn't boring. It really wasn't boring, but it wasn't a perfect game. Like say like The Witcher 3. I know it's unfair, but The Witcher 3's RPG elements, they're very solid, they're very good, and what you do in the world does affect what's going on with yourself and the people around you. Mass Effect series, nah, I'm not count that. That's for later, other issues. But the Final Fantasy series got good RPG elements and things like that nature. And even Kingdom Hearts has good RPG elements. I know I'm going off topic here, but the reason why I say those games is because I still remember those RPG elements so well. And for a veteran like me who played Kingdom Hearts and or Final Fantasy, I know how they work. In Fallout 4, you pretty much have to relearn. You have to pretty much relearn everything. And I think this game is for casual gamers, because if you're just pretty much shooting up the place, you're okay. You don't have to use your VATS at all. You don't use no real strategy. They don't use any real intelligence behind it or how you choose your words. If you're a casual gamer, you're gonna like this game a hell of a lot more than I will. I mean, I still love us. Really, personally, I do love the game, but as a gamer, I wish he was a little bit more into it. Now I understand why Joe gave this like around 8 or 7, because there's a lot of elements missing from it. And knowing all that, I wasn't bored with the game. I still had a shit ton of fun with the game. I'm gonna go back and play the game again, regardless of what I do without this review, because I had fun. I love the series of Fallout. And yes, and sad to say, yes, I put money down for a season pass. Trust me, I'll kick my ass later down the road because, yeah. Luckily for me, that was my last season. That'll be my only season pass I'll pay for. Only season pass I'll pay for in life. I'll still buy DLCs, not for this game though, because I bought season pass, but for The Witcher 3. Because that's long as fuck DLCs. But okay, let me end this now before I start rambling on again. So the final verdict for this is, it isn't a must watch. It's pretty much a badass sun rating. It's a badass sun rating because the game is very fun, the environment is beautiful, the combat is more fluent, it's fast paced, it's like boom boom boom. The companions are cool, they're badass. If they start talking, it's annoying, but that's a different story. Dogmate is one of the best, appears the best companions. Don't listen to people who say Strong is the best companion or anyone else. Let's stick with your dog most times because he won't give a fuck what you do. Fighting bad guys, fighting legendary enemies, and fighting like really deadly monsters is very, very fun. Fighting this new enemy institution is awesome. The power suits are badass. I love them. Make you feel like Iron Man. But in the same notion, the story itself starts off really good, but it ends on a very piss poor note. The dialogue tree is bland and it lacks real detail and depth. The characters you build are pretty much nobodies. They're pretty much people who are already established. So why would you have a love interest when you already have a wife or husband? And again, spoilers, they died off. That character, I remember I was trying like fucking hell to get one of my companions until it dawned on me, you can't really have sex with them. If you can, that's okay, but it's not going to like the main story arc of your own character. It's just like, oh yeah. Who gives a fuck? There are some game-breaking bugs which are there, and if you notice them, do post them up because there'll be some bugs that it's hard for you to catch on. And there's fun bugs by all means, but again, terrible bugs that are game-breaking. Trust me, you want to take a picture of it before it gets fixed down the road. Missing like pretty much taking away content like say the karma or reputation systems, stripping away more RPG elements of the game that pretty much makes it into a shooting or a first-person shooter, action adventure in an RPG game or things like that nature. And finally, putting only certain aspects of perks that will help you the most doesn't really help your gameplay out because you know you're going to be focused on that type of perks. Like say, again, mine was a mod build. with some toughness, with Aquaboy and guns perks into it. And that made my character pretty much unbeatable because I was upgrading my weapons, upgrading my armor all the time. And pretty much my perks for building up new settlements or getting more items for free or cheaper, it helped me out big time. My character was pretty much unbeatable. It was unbeatable. And so it wasn't a bad thing, but the same notion, it gave me a little emphasis to pretty much put more perks into other areas in my special chart because there's no point. When your character's fully established as a modder, no one can beat you. It's true. No one can beat you. It takes some time to get into it, but when you pretty much is a modder and you build, a modder and you just build your weapons from scratch, not really from scratch, but you know what I mean, or when you pretty much repair your body, repair and rebuild your power suit or build up new armor, most enemies don't want to fuck with you because they'll be dead regardless what they do. And so it becomes like a big notion. However, knowing that you can put like those certain type of perks into a play, it makes you a badass and just you demolish motherfuckers. It makes the game a hell of a lot of fun. Again, it doesn't feel like an RPG. That's pretty much the biggest thing behind it. It's not an RPG because a lot of RPG elements have been stripped away for pretty much make way for casual viewers or casual players. To me, it feels like a casual game. But overall, I didn't hate the game. I never hated it by even 1 second. I loved it all the way through. Even the story, I liked the story a little bit, but the same notion, I wish it ended on a better note. Gave me an aftermath, what happened after the world when I saved it or destroyed it, you know? So the big crutches behind this game that hurts it is lack of RPG elements, a piss poor final ending, and a skill system where it's not fully fleshed out with a piss poor skill tree. But on that same notion, again, I know I'm repeating myself, but I want to repeat myself so I can give a good review for it, is that the combat's fun. The companions are awesome, and Dogmeat is pretty much your best companion because he barely talks. Yay! And finding new items, upgrading your character is hell of a lot of fun. It really is. So it's a badass sun rating. That's what it is. It's a high rate, a very high badass sun rating. But it's not must watch, and it's not boring as hell. It's not a bullshit city. It's just an awesome game. But if people compare it to The Witcher 3, The Witcher 3 is still 10 times better because it's more fleshed out. It has less bugs, and the characters are more memorable, but that's a different story too. However, Fallout 4 is still better than Dragon Age Inquisition. 10 times better, because Dragon Age Inquisition is a piss poor excuse for RPG elements. But I'll spend that later on down the road. But anyways, folks, that's been my review of Fallout 4. And then do stay tuned for more Fallout 4 gameplay footage, whatever, on my PS4. And also, folks, do keep it locked and loaded very warm for me because I'll be back with more gameplay videos. Hopefully, I might get Divinity, Original Sin. Hope I said that right. Or Dragon Quest Heroes. Yeah, that'd be fun too. But anyways, folks, I'm getting the hell out of here so I can get up early for work. Yeah, I have a job. So anyways, folks, purge. And always keep it locked and loaded for me because I'll be back.